Hey Mobile 360 partners, today we're going to show you how to set up your store page on your mobile app with one of the most highly anticipated and requested features, which is the ability to set up a way for your customers to select various options when buying an item in your store. For a lot of you, this might be a very familiar view in front of you where we have the admin dashboard panel on the right hand side where you can edit and manage everything about your app, and on the left hand side we have the app itself. So today we're going to use one of our test projects called the Taqueria, the Mobile 360 Taqueria. We're going to show you how to set up a store page. For those of you who are new to Mobile 360 and you're seeing this for the first time, welcome, and we hope this video can show you how simple it is to get your app up and running. So on the left-hand side, as you can see, we're on the Taqueria menu page within the mobile app. And on the right-hand side, if you scroll down, just to give everyone a quick overview, these are all of the current pages we have in our application. If you wanted to add a new page, you're going to hit the Add New Page button right here on the bottom. And for today's purposes, we are adding a store page. So you can go ahead and click the store page right here to get things set up. I'm going to go back up here because we already have our store page added to the mobile app. So I'm going to open up the store page called Taqueria Menu. And now we've kind of come to the base page where you can start setting up your store. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and create a new store item right here. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's say we're adding an item name here called Super Burrito. Let's say the starting price might be $9.99. Description: make the best burrito of your life right here. If you have any fine print such as no refunds, you can add them here. It'll show up to your customers on the mobile app. Yes, it is currently on sale. If you have any additional notes, for example, please allow 20 minutes before picking up your order. Now we're going to scroll down to the next section, item limitation. So if we want this item to come down from the store at any point in time, let's say you're running an exclusive deal or sale for a limited amount of time, you can set an expiration date here. If you want to limit how many of this item that your customer can buy, you can go ahead and set an optional parameter right here. And also, let's say, for example, you only want to sell a total of 50 Super Burritos, you can go ahead and add it right here. We're not going to do that for today's purposes, but please go ahead and mess around with that. I'm going to come back up here to the image upload. So we can go ahead, upload an image. Let's get there, and I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to grab this image right here. Beautiful. And then you can crop it just a little bit however you'd like. Let's go ahead and hit crop and save here. It's going to upload to your mobile app. And while we're waiting for that, there it is right there. We're going to scroll down a little more. This link to Punchcard section is very important. One of the primary reasons your customers would be willing to download your mobile app is if you incentivize them to do that. With your Mobile 360 app, we allow you to create different punch cards where, for example, you can say buy 5 Super Burritos, get 1 free. In this case, we already have a punch card that we've created on a separate page called buy 5 plates and get 1 free. So let's go ahead and link this item to that punch card. What this means is every time your customer buys one of these items, they'll automatically receive a punch on this exact punch card. And once they hit the 5 punches, they can use that 6th one to get a free burrito. And you can set the parameters of the punch card, for example, the maximum discount somebody can receive. And the beauty of it is everything is managed for you behind the scenes, and the setup takes literally 30 seconds. Now let's get to the bottom here and talk about the item options. So with a Super Burrito, you might want your customer to select the tortilla they want, the different meats they want, beans, so on and so forth. And in this example, we're talking about food specific, but remember, these option groups that we're going to show you how to create can be utilized for absolutely anything. So today we're going to go over these food item specifics, but please be creative and use it exactly how you need to for your particular item. So I'm going to go ahead here and create a new selection group. And if you read this text here, one thing to note is this is available on the Mobile 360 app versions above 3.0.0. If your customer is using a Mobile 360 app version that's below that, we're going to prompt them to update them, but it's still good for you to know and ask them to update to the latest version. So let's go ahead and create a new selection group here. Let's call the group name here Tortilla. Group description: our fresh homemade tortillas gives your customers an idea about what they're selecting. Now here's something interesting. You can say if the selection is mandatory or not. If the selection is mandatory, we will require that your customer makes that selection before we allow them to add it to cart on your mobile app. So let's go ahead and say a tortilla selection is mandatory, and we don't want to allow the customer to select more than one tortilla. So we're going to say the maximum selections they can make is 1. The next step is actually adding the items that are within this group. So let's say, for example, we want to add just a plain and standard flour tortilla, and let's say there's no additional cost for that, so we're going to do $0 here. And now let's say, for example, let's say we have a spinach tortilla, and let's say that's an additional 50 cents. So let's add that item, and let's add one more, and let's say maybe a tomato basil tortilla is also an additional 50 cents. So now that we've created a group here, let's go ahead and create the selections group, and you can see it pop up right here. Let's go ahead and add one more as an example before we actually check out the item on the app. So we're going to come here, and let's say, for example, we have a meat option, and we can say, please select your primary meat option with our homemade sauces and spices. So is the selection mandatory? Let's say in this case, selection is not mandatory because somebody might not want meat in their burrito. But let's say somebody can only select a maximum of 2 meats. So now we can come in here and we can say we have, pollo asado, and let's say that is no additional charge. Let's say we have carne asada, which could be an additional $1, al pastor, an additional $1. And let's say we have carnitas as the last one. And let's say that's an additional 75 cents. So now we've created a new group here. We're going to go ahead and create the selections group. And now let's get started with this. Let's go ahead and create this item. And what that's going to do is it's going to launch this item to our store page. So I'm going to hit create right here. There it is. And as you can see in the preview on the right-hand side, we've now created the item. Now, jumping over to your mobile app, currently we're looking at the My Purchases page from the customer perspective. But we want to check out the store page to see if it's updated. So let's go ahead and refresh here. And there it is. So now here's the super burrito that you just created. And as a customer on the mobile app here, let's say, for example, I want to add this to cart. It's going to pop up a new page here with all of the item details you specified. And here are these additional groups that we just created. So here, tortilla says it's required. And now let's say, for example, I wanted to pick the spinach tortilla. And then we go to the meat options. Remember, we said this was not required, so they're not going to receive the required badge there. And your customer can select up to 2 options. So let's say they pick pollo asado, which there's a spelling mistake there. And then let's say they also pick carne asada. And now, let's say, for example, they picked a 3rd option. Because we're saying they can select a maximum of 2 options, they will see an error pop up. A maximum number of options has already been selected. And just to show you how the other errors work, for a required field, let's say, for example, your customer forgot to make a selection here. When they scroll down and they try and add the item to cart, they're actually going to be prompted and say, hey, a selection is required for the group tortilla. So that way they know they have to make a selection here. So let's say tomato basil. Let's go ahead and add this to cart. Go to cart. It gives them a little preview of exactly what they ordered and the options they selected, and then they can proceed to checkout. And at checkout is where they can set up their select their pickup, delivery, or shipping option, depending on what you've set up for your mobile app. They can add a promo code that you've created, and the promo codes that you can create are right here under the coupon section. If they want to add an additional tip, they can do that right there. They can add their payment method, and once they hit that purchase button, then that's it. They're all done. You as the business owner will receive that order with all of their additional selections. And now this should be a much more manageable way to run different types of products you offer. So for example, if you're selling t-shirts or lotions of different sizes, you can use these additional groups to set up all the different options you have available for your customer. And we hope this video today shows you how easy it is to get everything set up and rolling in your mobile app. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at team@mobile360.io or reach out to us from the chat on our website. If this is your first time seeing a Mobile 360 video and you're interested in signing up, we'd love to get you going. feel free to reach out to us as well. Thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to helping you more.